So show me that frog camera.
Frog camera. Oh yeah, frog.
That's
eyes.
one of them. This is something that most people would pass by.
It's pretty crinkly there, but still.
It's a scarce camera. What's that? You show
Whelmy 6 is the.
You show me that top viewfinder. It's like
it's a
dual-eyed, squinty viewfinder.
Really not entirely sure the reason for that. Well, now I see it. You look from the top. You can look from the top here for one view, and you can look from the thing here. So it's maybe a wasteful finder. You go like that.
Yeah. So it's got two
Funky
different finders.
It's not a rangefinder. It just looks like one.
So conservatively, $70-80, maybe more. Somebody will restore that or use the parts. They're hard to find in great condition, I'm sure.
Yep.
The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Good morning, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. This is Dealer with the Crazy Picker Life. It is Monday morning, time to pay the price. Oh my goodness. Well, when I got back in town yesterday and we did some unpacking and I had to get my van unloaded because I'm taking it in this morning to get it detailed, so you got to take everything out of there. I went home and within about 5 minutes I laid down a little bit and that was that. So I tried to get up. I somehow set my alarm for midnight. I tried to get up at midnight so I could edit my vlog and, you know, maybe take a look at what Monday was going to hold before I would go back and maybe take another nap or some more sleep. I remember the alarm going off at midnight and, you know, just there's no way I was shaking loose. So I reset it for... oh man, let me see, 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. And I was able to get up and wander down here and get things started. Now you probably, if you're watching closely, and it's not that hard, you see that I'm still in yesterday's clothes. I just nosedived right into bed, and I still, when I got up, I just lumbered in here. So if you want to give me some flack, go ahead. So anyway, I've been here for a while. I think I've got everything headed in the right direction. I've got a whole stack of orders, somewhere about, I don't know, 35 or a few more. I've got a smaller stack, not 35 problems, but I've got a stack of probably 3 or 4 or 5 problems that I've got to solve this morning in a timely fashion, as well as some questions. So when you go out for a weekend and kind of disconnect yourself from your business and you don't turn anything off, which I didn't turn anything off this weekend, there's always going to be some challenges. So Monday mornings are kind of crazy. This is certainly going to be a challenge, and so I feel pretty focused. I feel pretty fatigued, and I think once I get packing here, I'll wake up a little bit and get moving. Now, for those of you that are concerned, I appreciate it. I'm concerned too, so I am going to take a much easier week this week, and I started to feel a little bit overclocked last week, and I got a pretty good gauge on all that. This weekend was a lot of fun, but it sure was fast moving. So yes, I'm going to take some rest this week. Videos will still come every day and everything else will happen. I'm just going to make that a priority. Okay, not much else going on this morning. I'm going to pack a bunch of orders, get home, have some breakfast with the family, get my van to the detailer, and start Monday morning school. I got a few interesting eBay and PayPal challenges going on. Maybe I'll talk about those a little bit later in the show. See if I can get some headway made on some of these fairly interesting issues. And always something. Thanks for watching. On with the show. Okay, I just loaded these up. I'm on the fly here. I don't know, 1 tote, 2 totes, lots of small ones here. There's like 18 or 20. Gee, crazy town. Okay, well, when it rains it pours, right? I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna be able to verbalize all the craziness and stuff that's going on right now, but I just spent the last hour trying to revive my international FedEx account and get this all hooked up for this movie prop deal with this suitcase that's been sort of going on. It turns out it's a real prop company, but I think I'm working with somebody that hasn't done much international shipping, and I've done lots of international shipping, but only with USPS and through my terminal or whatever, so it's real simplified. I mean, I know how to do it. I do it all the time. We send packages every day. FedEx, I just have no idea, and you get into a lot of different, you know, forms, triplicate invoices, lots of terminology that you know, I kind of understand, but I don't understand. And the lady purchased this product even though it was listed under global shipping only. She purchased it, they paid for the full global shipping. They didn't care about that, they just wanted the darn thing, and we had to bypass the global shipping. So she was having FedEx pick it up at my location and paying for it on her FedEx account, which is fine. And my question was, you know, where do I address it to? And I didn't really get a result, and then I went on vacation. So if this sounds like rambling, this is how it is in my brain. So the FedEx pickup shows up. I've got no address, no label. She has no address, no label. End of story, until dealer has to call Canada, and call FedEx and get my account restored, figure out how to do the interface, get the label printed, make sure it's going to get to them tomorrow in Canada. Oh my goodness, and it still feels unknown. It hasn't been picked up yet. I got to get back to home and make sure that happens okay. Lon's there, she'll do a good job with it. She's done some shipping. I think I have all the documentation. I think I have everything printed correctly. I think they're gonna get it. Meanwhile, I'm about 15 orders in the hole. Those will have to ship tomorrow. And I did most of the current ones first, so it won't seem too bad to my customers. I'm about 5 or 6 medium critical questions behind, problems with items, things don't fit, returns, all that kind of stuff. Wheeler's going to handle some of those, and so some of those will go away this afternoon. And I've got a weird PayPal chargeback dispute that I have to call this afternoon and try to get sorted out, even though PayPal closed me out. They sent me a weird email on Friday, and I was so frantic I ignored it a little bit, and then they closed out the case from my end on Sunday. So since I was on vacation 2 days, that was pretty tight. So I'm gonna have to get on the phone and see what I can do. If it was 20 bucks, I wouldn't care, but it's a $200 charge back, so I better take care of that. Well, again, this is the price to pay when you do some volume. Many of you guys have been through this from time to time. We let it run in all weekend, so you know, 30, 40 orders total. Some more came in this morning. And things just sometimes stack up, and it seems like all 3 of those are happening at once. Of course, slow sleep and crazy. I don't use crazy because we're the crazy picker life. I just like that word, but we've got school today too. It's a lot. So there are times in my business where everything kind of gridlocks and lines up, and you do feel a little overwhelmed. So it makes the medium and easy times really easy when you make it through this. Oh, I should just edit this all out, shouldn't I? I won't. Okay, I gotta get moving. All right, well, I think things are improving a little bit. I got the suitcase thing figured out. I don't know, I don't really like to do videos where I'm just driving around ranting like a maniac. My wife is watching, Lana's watching all the videos, and this morning she's watching one. She's like, oh my goodness, all you do is talk and talk and talk and talk. I'm like, oh, really? Is that all I do? Son of a gun. Okay, I gotta head over to the shop, and today it's been like back and forth 4 times or so, 5 times or so since 3 o'clock this morning. And you know, I don't work continuously if you just are talking about my business. I've got things I do at home and whatever. Today my day started at 3 a.m. and if I had to estimate when it's going to end, man, I don't know. I wanted to end it by 11 tonight and get a good night's sleep. I'm gonna have to see where I'm at. That's when Wheeler for sure will end, and I'll probably have to still edit this vlog. We'll see. I got so much to do. My next big stressor is I have a case opened. It's a chargeback from somebody from Mexico that ordered a camera, and I shipped it first class to Mexico with insurance, which is probably going to end up being a good thing. And although who knows, the window for it's 10 days. A chargeback is kind of funky. PayPal is sort of on your side, but they're under a tight window, and so I got them the documentation on tracking and things like that initially, and then they hit me on Friday needing more information. And Friday was such a chaotic day, and the email looked kind of generic, and so my fault, I ignored it mostly. And then they closed it out yesterday, Sunday, so I was on the road for 2 days. So I'm gonna still submit the information and hopefully not get dinged by this $200 chargeback, which is not the end of the world, but that's a little bit too much money to not pursue with a phone call and some follow-up. And I think probably what will happen, or there's a good chance what will happen, is I'll have to pay the $200, which means I'm going to be out $30 for shipping, and that item will probably make its way back to me, and I might even be able to put a stop on it. Although first class in Mexico, never had good luck down there. I don't know why I keep shipping. That's why I put insurance on it. But there's still, you know, there's scammers down there of all kinds, and then there's a lot of little gray areas like this where who knows if somebody stole this person's credit card and bought this thing. Who knows if somebody in his family bought it and they didn't know, you know, bad communication. Who knows if they're a scammer. But first class is bad enough because it takes forever and the tracking's not that great. Not too many people want to pay for priority though, which is like double or triple. For the most part, let me just state this, and then, you know, I don't want to sit here and keep rambling and sound like I'm losing it. I'm not. But most international shipping is very good, and the percentage of loss versus how many packages I ship international is absolutely worth it. It's just frustrating sometimes. It's a little worse than the 80-20 rule. It's like the 95-5 rule. 5% of packages take up 95% of your mess around time, and this is one of them. So we'll see how that turns out. I got to try to get something in ASAP on that, and that'll present its own problems because they want some proof of shipment, and everything is electronic on my end, so it's very hard to get something that it definitively proves shipment that PayPal and a credit card company is going to accept as genuine. So again, there are a few gray areas, and I encounter them so infrequently that I just don't really do anything differently. So here's another takeaway. When you get high enough volume, even if it's a $200 chargeback, you do your best and you move on. You can't let it ruin your day. You can't let it slow everything else down. You can't let it give you the mental breakdown or heart attack or anything like that. If you get caught up in all that, I've got 15, 20 more orders that I've got to get done, and I've got other things. You do your best and you move on. And I've learned that more and more and more. And I do know a lot of people out there get drugged down by some of those details. And, a lot of people are probably saying, well, $200 is not a detail. And I agree. But, I'm doing a lot more business than $200 per day, and I'm doing a lot more business per month, and I do not want to affect that business. So you have to make some choices. Okay, mid-vlog dealer rant / lesson / filler / who knows what, over. On to the next thing. It's funny, as another quick note, I can tell when I'm really sort of losing it, let's just say, where I'm just losing control of trying to get everything done. I start carrying stuff from home to work and from work to home that shouldn't come with me. Oh my goodness, it's funny how things cling to you. This is one of those days. One of those days. Woo, we're gonna make it again. I promise I'm gonna slow down. All right, so been packing all day and getting school done, and Wheeler's been down here doing some work late this afternoon and early evening. We did get everything unpacked here from our pick, and this was a real different kind of pick. I mean, we've spent a lot of time at the flea market, and this time we had all the kids and Lon, my wife, in tow, and we sort of had an urgency because we just didn't have a lot of time. My wife said if it was warmer she wouldn't have lasted, so it was a nice day. We were there maybe 3 hours, maybe a little bit more total, with the coffee stop at the end, and we would typically probably spend 5 hours and do a little more sorting and a little more digging and a little more talking to vendors. And so this time it was a little bit more like see and grab. Now there was quite a bunch of stuff to see and grab, which was good, because sometimes it's kind of lean there. We haven't been there in a while, so maybe they've stocked up on some stuff that they don't normally sell. Prices were pretty good too. Let me just show you an overview, and I'll talk a little bit while I do, and then we'll look up Wheeler here. Hey Wheeler.
There.
So Wheeler's looking things over. So we'll talk about it in a more specific sense in a minute. Are you leaving?
I'm grabbing something quick that you watch that's over here.
Oh yeah. So we spent about $1,200, maybe $1,250 on inventory, and I don't know, I'll ask Wheeler what his number is. I'll give mine right now. I'd say it's a tripler by the time we're all said and done, which, some of this stuff's gonna sell faster than others. It's a Vitamix. So Wheeler, what do you want to talk about? Anything in particular?
Yeah, just a couple things, I guess. There's some good bread and butter cameras here for the most part. There's some really rare pieces that really aren't worth a whole ton, but there's some kind of rare, neater stuff in there. I was like this little Pentax Auto 110 that was displaying in my office. This one's pretty beat.
Yeah, it's kind of sticky and stuff.
Yep, still pretty neat.
So we got $100. We showed this on our video.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen our video on the Denver flea market haul, you can go back and see that. We made a deal for a 100-pound tote for about $100.
Yep.
And in there were probably, 3 or 4 pieces that are right at the $75 to $100 range.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of decent bread and butter, and then a bunch of junk.
Yeah, looks like a bunch of junk. It's all lower end. The rest of it's lower end stuff though.
Yeah, so $100. That's a $500 tote, easy.
Easy.
Maybe more like $600 or $700 by the time it's all done. So that's what the bulk of this camera stuff is. And then there was a bunch of camera stuff that we picked just as individual, or maybe some cases.
Yeah.
So show me that frog camera.
Frog camera. Oh yeah, frog.
That's
eyes.
one of them. This is something that most people would pass by.
It's pretty crinkly there, but still.
It's a scarce camera. What's that? You show
Whelmy
me.
6 is the.
You show me that top viewfinder. It's like
it's a
dual-eyed, squinty viewfinder.
Really not entirely sure the reason for that. Well, now I see it. You look from the top. You can look from the top here for one view, and you can look from the thing here. So it's not even a waist-level finder. You go like that.
Yeah, so it's got two
Funky
different finders.
It's not a rangefinder. It just looks like one.
So conservatively, $70-$80, maybe more. Somebody will restore that or use the parts. They're hard to find in great condition, I'm sure.
Yep.
Okay, so tell me what this big mass of bags over here is all about.
Well, we picked up a bunch of camcorders, and then later on a thrift store and some other ones here. We picked up a couple various other things, various other bags.
So there's almost 20 bags here.
Yep. A lot of stuff here.
Now these are camcorders ranging from some that will sell for maybe what, $80 on the bottom?
Yeah, that's about it.
All the way up to almost 200. There's a digital in there and a couple night shots.
Yep.
Some cameras. We haven't went through all the bags. The bags with the camcorders, we know the guy and gal that sell those, and they're going to have all the chargers, be fully tested, have some extras for us that we can lot up. The cameras, on the other hand, I was just noticing, I went through one over here. I don't know if I can find it right away. Yeah, I like this one. I mean, there's going to be some extras like a nice
shutter release.
And so some of the bags, which there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SLR bags.
Especially
maybe another.
These two are just full of accessories and random stuff
that
I haven't looked at yet.
And there's a lot of accessories in there that are going to be $10, $15, $20 each.
Exactly.
And we'll probably run into at least 1 or 2 that are going to be $30, $40 range.
Yep.
Okay. What else?
One thing I was going to talk about quick. I'm not sure if you pulled those other watches out of there. They're probably still in there somewhere.
Oh, that is a problem. There's all this stuff here. But I bought a bunch of pins and belt buckles and watches and things. And what we do with those, unfortunately, for this shoot, is we've tucked them inside all these bags, and we're not going to look for those right now.
Yeah, no, I was looking briefly. I didn't see them.
Yeah, they're all tucked in there. So there's another wholesale. What we bought them for is probably, what, $30?
Yeah, less than that.
And there's probably $100 or $200 I found.
Yep, I was going to just mention quickly my new watch buying binge streak kind of thing. You know, with my whole watch hobby, I've been researching what goes and what doesn't, so I've been kind of focused looking for a couple of those. Just
well, you like watches, and we're always looking for new markets.
Yep.
And there's a bazillion watches out there, all the way from crap to fake to genuine. Just, you know,
flea market, you get, there's 1,000 watches there, and probably 10 or 20 of them are actually ones you can make money on. There's this one booth that had a bunch of higher end watches they've had priced up a bit that I knew nothing about.
Yeah, I think you spend a little too long for my liking right now, because all of a sudden it slows down. But it's just like cameras. Once you become familiar with them, which you're an encyclopedia, it'll happen. But tell us about tell us about the watch. Don't jump around.
That's a clock.
ADD? EDDH, whatever. No, I'm just kidding.
This goes under the watch category as far as I'm concerned. But it's a Seiko quartz travel alarm clock. It actually has a crown, like a watch, which is kind of interesting. Pulls out and does that. It's made out of aluminum, made in Japan. Comes with the original case there. So going anywhere between $50 and $80, if I remember correctly, looking those up. And you
just bought it for a couple bucks.
Yeah, so I don't know if it has corrosion, but that's one right there. And this is the best watch I think we pulled out of there. It's a St. Moritz titanium alarm.
Terrible focus.
And this one's actually made out of titanium. It has a made in Germany band on it. But anyway.
So it was broken and you fixed it, supposedly.
Yeah, the second hand had fallen off, which apparently is a reasonably common thing when watches get dropped or shocked. That happens occasionally.
Yeah.
And it's just a pressure fit back on there. So I'll definitely mention the listing that it was like that, and hopefully get around $100 for that.
How come my band is lighter colored than your band?
I don't know. It's just different companies, I guess.
It's more like my Jeep. I'm going to have to switch you out, man.
Yeah, mine's a little bit darker than the Jeep.
Oh. So anyway, watch, you bought it for what, $5?
Yeah, $5.
And are you confident your fix is going to hold?
Well, I'm going to mention the listing that might need to be taken to a jeweler to fully solidify it. But like I showed in
so we're going to sell that for 60 or more.
Yeah, like I showed in the vlog, they retail right around $280 for the newer variation.
Right.
So it's a good one. And it's
cool.
in real nice shape, actually. It has a couple of scratches on the dial, but pretty good.
Super cool.
Yep.
What else you want to show here?
We got a whole collection of little signets and stuff. Those are somebody was collecting them here.
Somebody was a Kodak person.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Also got some boxed lenses. Like I got a 400mm Vivitar in the box. Too bad the box is so roach, but if that's in nice shape, that's $100 pretty easy.
Yeah, we paid like 30 or 40 for the whole box for all these four lenses. So we haven't even looked at them though.
Yeah, there's some boxed. This tote here has a bunch of boxed.
Yeah.
Or at least
So tell me what your impression is of how we went in there and how we bought this time compared to how we normally do, or what do you think?
Definitely a bit quicker. We really did find a lot on the first sweep through the first couple rows. Just kind of came in, conquered, left.
Yeah, I kind of thought shock and awe is how it felt.
Yeah.
And in reality, I think I looked up like 2 or 3 items all day.
Yeah, I was looking up a lot of stuff.
Were you?
Yeah, well, like I said, I was looking up 100. I looked up 100 items. I made offers on 20 and bought, say, 5 or something like that. I forgot what my exact number was.
I really almost bought everything that I looked at, and I just wasn't real aggressive. I had a lot of eyes on a lot of other people.
I was really aggressive in my offers.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you were along.
Yep.
And doing that. I bought anything I liked. I made a decent offer on, and I didn't even care. Yep. It kind of sounds like, well, dealer, what the heck's wrong with you? You don't even care what you buy. You know, I rarely lose money because of just, I guess, an instinct, and it's just from years of pounding the pavement on this stuff. The models that I got, which I'll show in a minute, half of them I'm going to do pretty well on. The other half I'm going to lot up and do okay on. There's just no downside.
Yep.
Okay, what else?
I'm going to show up a couple more items here. Canon Pellex is my favorite camera that Canon ever made, just because of the translucent mirror technology, which is kind of cool. I've only picked up 3 other ones besides that one in black, which sold for around $800.
Yeah.
That one is the chrome model, and if it works and everything, it's probably 70. But I just really like those cameras. That's one of my favorite.
So is there a removable lens on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no lens on there.
There is no lens on there.
That's body only.
Okay.
They made a high-speed variant in the 90s that was very similar to that I need to pick up one of these times for my collection.
Sure.
And then the last thing I want to show off this thing, which I don't know a lot about it, but I remember I looked that up, and they're going for anywhere between 100 and 150 not tested, and they're going all the way up to 400 for, I'm sure, tested and
so
all
I'm
that.
going to have to figure out if I can trick test it or something.
A lot of money for...
Yeah, we've been picking up stuff like that, and I think the problem with these testers that all the, I don't know what they use them all on. I don't even really care.
Analog and digital signal level meter analyzer.
I mean, they're all in these cases like this. Some are nicer looking than others. Some are newer than others. The biggest problem is they're either rechargeable and can't be tested, or they've got some special inputs and they can't be tested. So they always sell cheap. But you got to realize on most of these, unless they look like dog crap, these things were made to be in the field, and they are rough and tough.
Like the FLEA cameras, it's like any of that industrial equipment.
You don't have to be.
Stuff.
You don't have to be. From what we found, you don't have to be too worried about them working or not. I mean, you need to look to see if the button pan buttons have been burned out, or if the screen looks like it's burned. I mean, there's things that you can look for.
Yeah, if they dropped on a skyscraper, the screen will probably be broken. That's one of the first things to break on one.
What do we pay? Because I can't quite remember. I thought it was $10.
Yeah, very little. Somewhere right around there.
There's no risk at $10 on that.
No, that one was cheaper than the other one we picked up.
Okay, you recock and think a little bit. I'm just going to show a couple things off. I like Coleman's. I like the diamonds. Some of them are better than others. There's a chrome version that goes really well. The coolers with the diamonds go really well. I picked those all up. This one, I don't know, I paid $3. It's going to be at least 20 plus shipping. Dragon Strike is a TSR game with little pieces in it and all that. It's 20 years old, 30 years old. All that stuff can be good. Models of all kinds. I tried to pick out some that I liked. These are all open box, which is not nearly as good. But the collector that had these seemed like he got a thrill about opening them, cataloging them, and putting them back. So they appear to all be there. I paid between $2 and $5 each for all these models. You can't go wrong at that. And so I'll pick out a couple that individually sell well. There'll probably be a couple in here that will sell for, you know, 40 to 50, maybe even more if I get fortunate on one. And then the rest of them, there'll be some middle ground, and the rest of them will be good. This is some sort of thing that you crash your airplane in the water and you throw this out and it blows up into a raft. It's got a little age on it, but for what I can tell, it'll go for a couple $100 or more. Paid $70.
There's a safety cutoff button on here too, like, I'm gonna go and press the safety cutoff.
I've had good luck with Vitamixes. Their workhorses. This one's supposed to work. I trust people when they tell me that. I don't even care. I haven't had one that hasn't worked. If it doesn't work, I'll get my money back in the containers. If it does work, it'll be close to a tripler. Rock climbing helmet, don't know, but I got it thrown in with that thing, that raft. I like boats. Any odd looking boat model I'm going to buy. This is a catamaran. Somebody made it. Who knows who will buy that, but they will pay me 20 or more for it. I have a feeling. I looked up the turbo hopper. Seems to be in reasonable condition. That'll be 20 plus shipping, and that was like $3 or something like that. I might have overpaid a little bit on the Atari. I think I'll get double my money. I paid $90 for the 7800 with all kinds of controllers and duplicates of. There's more than 2 or 3 or 4 power supplies in there, and then there's almost 40 cartridges. Frankenstein here is a pretty good one. That's probably a $25 cartridge, and fast food might be a $10. The rest of these are pretty common, so that'll be all right. I like those old school games. Some more models. I don't know. There's another digital camcorder. This Canon that you forgot.
I got stuck in there. Canon lens apparently doesn't work. They say annual focus only. I think I paid $3 for that. But this lens, we just recently sold one for $120, so even manually focusing, I think that'll probably go for $50.
So now explain that to me. A high-end lens that's an automatic lens, or what do they call that? Automatic?
Autofocus, yeah.
Autofocus. Even if it doesn't do that, somebody can use the manual focus part of it as a high-quality lens.
Yeah, usually for video is what people would use those for, because a lot of the,
Gotcha.
well, the newer ones obviously can do autofocus, but a lot of the older SLR cameras that shot video could not, well, autofocus was just awful.
Right.
To put it plainly.
Okay. So we'll have to dig around. There's a few good belt buckles, and I found some really interesting 60s and 70s Sears manager and sales performer pins, including one that was like a washer and dryer pin, a lapel pin, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Somebody that sold a bunch of washers and dryers, so who knows if that's going to be worth it or not. I just thought it was really cool. We didn't pay much. Oh, you got some watches in there.
Yeah, I think I kind of mixed it.
Okay, I'm going to end this video, I think. I don't think there's anything else too exciting here to talk about. I'm really dragging today. Earlier I was dragging, and then I got kind of fired up, and I don't know how much of that I'm going to edit out. I was just very challenged with a couple situations. I've got still some emails to take care of that I would rather not take care of. You know, just challenges and problems and just things that take some time to sort out. I do have an interesting situation with our main camera selling where eBay has taken us from top seller to, or top rated to acceptable, or whatever the level below is, which for us is like a, you know, every billing that's like a $200 difference or whatever. I looked at it, and here we are on one thing, we're at 0.5 defect or whatever, and the thing says 0.5 or above is okay, so I think I'm catching them in a thing because I'm at 0.5. Anyway, I'll probably talk about that tomorrow, because I probably will have to call them tomorrow. I'm not going to get to that tonight. It's something that's not super urgent. I just need to get to it. So a lot of little things like that kind of pushed me over the edge for a little while. I went for a run today with the younger boys. We did the 2 miles. I'm committed to that, so I'm back on the 2 mile week. 4 more days of 2 miles this week. Dealer's gonna get in shape. Woohoo! Okay. Long day. I always know Mondays are like this when we go out of town all weekend. They're always like this, and this one actually was a little more stressful.
Yep.
And with school, I think that's probably part of what it is. I needed to remember what school on a Monday was like, plus double hard. So I've got about 15, 16 orders to pack yet. I've been packing pretty much all day, it feels like. And I think that's about it.
Yep.
What else, Wheeler?
Well, found a couple watches in your belt buckle here if you want to see those, but other than that...
Did I get a cool belt buckle? I can't remember what it was.
The official CB.
Oh, yeah.
And that looks pretty worn, but...
Official CB will be a $15 belt buckle,
Yep.
mainly because it's from the 80s. It's an old school one, so
Yep.
whatever.
2 watch with a day-date complication Q Timex Q dress watch from probably the 70s or 80s. That Citizen women's watch, gold-plated, but
yeah.
women's watches for the most part aren't worth a lot. But still, that one's a good one.
That one looks pretty sharp, actually.
That one's a good one as far as they go. And this old women's watch, apparently from the 70s, kind of funky design, not worth a whole bunch.
Kind of retro looking.
$13 to $15 probably.
You didn't find my pins, did you?
No, I didn't.
Don't throw them out.
Nope.
Tuck them in there. Okay, thanks for watching. This is the vlog for today. I really got to watch the lighting here. I turn into bright and then darker dealer. Thanks for watching. We had a crazy weekend. Monday was this Monday. Today was pretty tough. Got some things lined up for tomorrow and the rest of the week. I think we're getting close to daily vlog 50, and I've just been telling myself on daily vlog 50, if anybody is interested, I'm going to talk that whole vlog, or a bunch of it, about what I've learned about daily vlogging for 50 episodes. I think some people will find it interesting. I have found this whole experience quite interesting, to say the least. I haven't been really talking about the ins and outs of this, but I will for anybody that's interested in that. Other than that, stay tuned. We will have a vlog tomorrow, as every day. We enjoy your company. We enjoy your comments and your questions, if there are any. I've been a little behind on answering questions and comments, but I'll get back on that shortly. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the thumbs up. See you tomorrow. Vlog over.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer Production.